Welcome to the Two Wealth Show, a show that shares how you can create real wealth for you and your family. I'm one of your hosts, Justin Bogard, and my co-host is Elizabeth Sickles, aka Super E. I am a real estate note investor, specializing in performing residential real estate debt. I find the deals, acquire them for my own portfolio, as well as educate investors while walking them through the process of owning a real estate note. My co-host Super E, a real estate investor, specializing in short-term rentals and the management of them. She connects investors with short-term tenants and manages everything in between. Our show is sponsored by BrightPath Notes and Elizabeth Mayora. You can find out more information by visiting our websites at brightpathnotes.com and elizabethmayora.com. Welcome to the Two Wealth Show, a show that shares how you and your family can make real wealth. I'm one of your hosts, Justin Bogard.
And I'm Elizabeth Mayora Sickles.
All right.
So the show today is actually all about Justin. So we want to give all of our listeners a little bit of background about who he is, what makes him tick, both professionally and personally. So get ready, because we're going to be asking him a lot of questions so you can find out more.
All right. Our show is sponsored by BrightPath Notes and Elizabeth Mayora. That's the name of your website too, isn't it?
It is.
So you can go check out our websites, brightpathnotes.com or elizabethmayora.com, to find out more about what it is we do, if you don't know already. Episode 1.
Yes, of our new refreshed
look. We're in a nice studio. We got different equipment now. So
we have professional lighting. And
we stepped up our game a bit.
Just a bit, yes. Yeah. We're excited for this.
Yeah, this is fun. That pilot season was pretty fun. We did 9 episodes, and we had a couple of interviews, a couple of fun interviews. Your interviews with some of the guests that you had on there
Jennifer
that I never met before. That was pretty awesome. So you had some whales come on our show.
Yes,
awesome.
Heavy hitters for sure.
And we had Vicki Perry from our executive director in Syria, and then we had Bob Repass of Colonial Funding Group.
Legend in the note industry.
Yeah, he's pretty well known. If you're in the note business, you definitely know Bob Repass. If you don't, you're under a rock, I think. So look forward to having some more interviews this year.
Yes.
So we got some people lined up. So why don't we talk a little bit about our format this season here?
Sure.
So what we'd like to do is kind of release an episode once a week for the remaining part of the year. And
every Tuesday they're going to be coming out.
Tuesday, yeah, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. We're now going to be on Apple Podcast, Spotify, all the general audio podcast channels, and also we'll be filming this as a video as well. So our video casts will be on the BrightPath Notes YouTube channel and
the Elizabeth Mayora YouTube channel.
Okay, that's how you can find this video part.
We're excited.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
All right, so
fire away.
Justin Bogard.
Yes.
What gets you up in the morning?
Usually a kid that jumps in my bed or opens the door. So we have a puppy now, and this puppy is probably, 15 weeks old now, and so she does really good about not whining too much in the crate at night. But if a kid wakes up, we have 4 kids. So if a kid wakes up in the middle of the night and comes on our door and has, needs us for something, the dog wakes up. When the dog wakes up, the dog whines. When the dog whines, the dog doesn't stop for a while. And when the dog whines, me and Vicki don't really get a lot of sleep. So that's what usually gets me up in the mornings. It's not usually my alarm clock. I'm usually up going, how do I beat my alarm clock?
And how old are the kids?
So we have, between both of us, we have 4 kids. We have 2 8-year-olds, 6-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So 3 girls and 1 boy.
So all right around the same age.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. It's funny because the boy and the girl, the oldest 2, the 8-year-olds, are 1 day apart.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay.
So I grew up with 2 older sisters, so I know what it's like to not really have any brothers and just be kind of like, 3 girls always dominated, with my mom and 2 sisters, and then just me and my dad are out there in left field. So it's the same situation, I'm sure, for the boy in our family. So he probably has to deal with all the Barbies and LOLs and OMG dolls and you name it, all the girl stuff.
So you know all of the hot topics for and all the Disney stuff and all that kid kind of stuff.
I did know all the Disney princesses' names when the girls about 2 or 3 years ago. They were into it a lot, and now it's kind of faded out. But I did know all the Disney princesses' names, which was, I guess, it was kind of amazing and also scary at the same time.
Wow! Congrats.
Yeah, so I look forward to doing more boy stuff with Vicky's boy. So
okay, excellent. And hobbies. What are your hobbies?
Well, I like to work. I like to work on the business. I do bicycle riding, so I have my own bicycle, and I like to get out and exercise that way. And just kind of getting some downtime with the kids. So, whether it's doing homework with them or playing with them in the yard or just doing some games, or now with the puppy here, it's like you got the puppy time and you got kid time. So my time is wrapped up a lot with the kids. And so if my hobby is to like ride my bike and stuff and just do work-related functions, go to work events, that's obviously how we met each other, was at a real estate event. So that's my life, and I love it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So what kinds of investments, all type of real estate investments do you have?
So
personally,
right now I'm only doing performing loans.
Okay.
So that's all the investments that we're doing right now. I used to do fix and flips, and I used to do rentals, and I used to wholesale, and I got away from it just for the purposes of, well, it just wasn't my cup of tea, so to speak. So I definitely do all loans, and I tried to do a flip with my dad 2 years ago with a house, and it ended up being a house I wanted to live in. So, it just wasn't meant to be for me to do that. So that's what we primarily invest in is notes and creating loans as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. And so you mentioned a cup of tea. So what's your favorite food, and do you cook?
Wow, good question. So I can cook. My varieties are like pasta, tacos, and I like breakfast food. Breakfast food is probably my favorite. And then non-breakfast item foods would be probably just pasta in general. So I like Italian food, and I like to go to the hibachi grill, like the Japanese steakhouse. That's kind of my jam too. I like that. I usually get the clean plate award at those places.
I'm sure the kids like it too.
Yeah.
Right, with all the theatrics.
Yep. Yeah. Our youngest one doesn't like the fire part of it. When they do like some of the fire display, when they light like the onion volcano on fire, and they go choo choo. She doesn't like that too much, but I'm sure she'll get over it.
As she ages, right?
Yep. She's the youngest. She's 5, so.
Okay, so that's understandable.
Yep. She just started pre-K, so.
Okay. What is your favorite book of all time, whether personal or professional?
Well, I'd have to say the one that I've listened to the most on audiobooks is probably the Robert Kiyosaki book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Classic.
Yeah, just obviously. And actual reading books, I haven't actually read a lot of books, so I can't toot my horn to that. Okay. But the books that I have read are what you call esoteric books. So they're kind of out there. They're kind of a little bit strange. There was a series of books by Peter Moon that wrote. The first one he wrote was Transylvania Sunrise. Not the first one. The first one in the series he wrote. And so he's a little bit different author, but it was just a really interesting book. It's an interesting read about something that was supposed to be factual that happened in 2004 with the government and the Romanian government, and you kind of believe it if you want or don't believe it. But if it's not true, it was a really cool story. If it is true, it's kind of scary, but it's kind of neat at the same time. So I won't divest too much into the details of the book, but that book was one of my favorite reads.
Okay, and say the name one more time.
It was Transylvania Sunrise.
Transylvania Sunrise.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a conspiracy theorist?
I can be.
Okay.
I can be. I think there's always a conspiracy. Always a conspiracy about something. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. What's your dream vacation, Justin?
My dream vacation is probably going somewhere like tropical or like remote, like on an island.
Okay.
We visited the Cayman Islands a few times, and I'd like to go to Hawaii. I still haven't been to Hawaii yet. So that's kind of what I like, to be near a beach,
Okay.
near water, near ocean. So as long as I'm there with my family, that's my dream vacation.
Okay. And and just so you guys know, these are all these questions except for maybe two of them are all off the cuff because we really want to be just who we are. This is authentic.
Yeah.
This is who Justin is. So what is your biggest life lesson?
My biggest life lesson?
Good or bad?
Well, probably not starting real estate soon enough.
Wow.
Not knowing this stuff. When I first got into real estate, I was probably in my mid-30s when I finally got into some kind of real estate as far as like investing personally.
Mm-hmm.
And when I learned about all this stuff, and I had some mentors and I went through some training and some classes and some seminars, I realized, like, why didn't I know this stuff when I was 18 or 19 or 20? Like, the story of my life would be so different today if I could have started sooner. So that would be my biggest probably regret, is not being able to start sooner, because you don't know what you don't know, right? Something lands in your lap and you're just like, why did I know this stuff 20 years ago? This is great. Every time I show people what I do with note investing and I teach them about how you can make money from it and how it's just passive, they're just like, why don't I know this? Because nobody markets it and educates it. So
it's a very good big lesson learned.
Yeah, life lesson. I wish I knew this stuff sooner. I'm sure there's tons of lessons. Trust me, there's tons of lessons that I've learned in my life. Hey, I'm a very slow learner. I'm very hard-headed. So,
do you have a favorite quote?
The one that sticks out in my head is the one that my dad used to tell me, and it's "Don't eat yellow snow." I don't know if that's a quote, more of a saying, but I guess I'd have to think about it. I'm sure there's a quote that I like, just something that just grounds you to understanding. Be yourself, and just learn from your mistakes, and just head in the direction you want to head in. Mm-hmm. Don't let other people influence what you want to do. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So some quotes like that are the quotes that I pay attention to the most. Because I have to remind myself, like, stop going down the rabbit hole. You need to stay down your path, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. There we go. That's my saying right now. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Either I need to stay in my lane, or someone else needs to stay in their lane. It's like,
especially when you're driving.
Don't cross over. That's right. That's right. It can be dangerous.
It very well could be. Yeah. What is your favorite destination in the United States?
Right now, I would say it's Charleston, South Carolina.
Ah.
Very clean, very nice. The weather's usually pretty good if it's not raining. I just can't complain. When I met Vicki, we've taken many vacations to Charleston, South Carolina, and it's just every time just like, I don't want to leave, but you have to. You got to come back home eventually. I like it down there.
Okay.
I like it a lot. I can see myself living down there eventually.
Is that kind of the plan?
It can be. We don't know.
Okay.
We're trying to survive right now with 4 little ones going through elementary. We're in survival mode now, so we're picking up the pieces at the end of the day, going, all right, let's get ramped up for tomorrow, right?
Nice.
It's a battle. It's a fun battle. It's a battle.
What about, so everybody has Netflix and Hulu and all those accounts. So do you watch any shows? Do you follow any shows?
Yes.
Okay.
So what Vicki and I like to do when we go to bed is we like to watch a funny show. And usually it's like we watch the whole 13 seasons of Friends, or however many seasons they have. We'll start it from the beginning and go to the end, so it'll take, quite a few months. And then The Office is a great one that we'll watch just to get that, relaxation, getting their mindset of just a happy, funny, and then you can go to bed, kind of forget about what happened during the day and just kind of just zone out. We started watching recently this one called You on Netflix.
Okay.
It's I can't remember the character's name because I think we just watched the first season, and of course I fall asleep during some of the stuff too. So when I wake up and it's like, how am I on episode 4? I thought I started episode 1. So anyways, there's this guy, and he pretty much has this sick personality to where if he doesn't get his way in his relationship, he ends up hurting all the people around the person he's dating so that he can be the sole focus of his woman. and it's very. It can be graphic, and it's very specific, but it puts you in.
Is it physical hurt?
Yeah, it's physical hurt.
Oh.
To where
Whoa.
you could almost picture him as kind of like a serial killer.
Okay.
But it's called You, and so it's something that Netflix had people had a lot of interest in it. So of course I just want to check it out. So anyways, it's okay. It has a good, interesting plot for it, but I think after we got through the first season, it became kind of the same thing. Like some of those shows you watch, they just kind of the next season is just like, why are they extending the story?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of like Game of Thrones. Like I watched Game of Thrones all the way through. I'm sure a lot of people did. At the very end, you're just like left like going, that's it. That's what happens.
Okay, so you.
Yep.
Okay, very interesting. So you said that you and Vicky, so you watch TV to unwind before you go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But what else do you do? Do you have any tricks or hacks during the day to kind of, when you're overwhelmed with the business, hey, how can I just...
All day overwhelmed. So I kind of pause and take deep breaths. I catch myself getting a little bit of anxiety. I just kind of pause and be like, or step away from my computer, pick up my phone, and maybe I have like a game app on my phone, just get my brain just totally off the reservation of what I was focused on. Take a mental break, check out for a second, then get back into it. I started doing planned workouts now.
Okay.
So I designate like a time during the week and a specific time on that weekday, and just make sure that I just hit it treat it like a meeting. Prepare for it, stretch, whatever, do a quick workout, and then get right back into it. And it kind of helps get me re-energized and refocused for the next chapter of the day, I guess.
And do you work out at a gym? Do you work out at home?
No, I do it at home now. So
nice.
A guy that I met, he's a fitness trainer, and so he'll share a workout with me over like a Zoom call, like a webinar call. Okay. And so then I'll just mimic what he's doing. Like it'll be no weights, just all like, running in place or doing calisthenics or certain exercises where you can do like in a small area.
Okay.
And so I'll do that. So basically just get your heart rate up, just sweat a little bit, and being able to isolate some muscles and do certain things and strengthen yourself that way.
So is it real time training with him?
Yep.
On Zoom? Oh,
yep. So I got my microphone, my camera set up. Mm-hmm. I got I actually do it in my office. It's a small space in my office at the house.
Wow.
And so I can just go do the workout right there.
Oh, that's great.
So I don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to drive anywhere. Just make it convenient. It's all about time wealth. You got to make things simple and convenient. So
you do. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the most rewarding part of owning your own business?
Well, you get to set your own rules, right? You get you only have to report to yourself, which also can be a bad thing too, because you got to play the big boss, you got to play the manager, you got to play the groundling or whatever you want to call the lowest person on the totem pole. But I say probably the freedom is nice, because I can choose to stop what I'm doing during the day, and I can do something with one of my kids. And then I can table whatever I'm doing and maybe put it towards the end of the day or later at night. So I have that luxury of that flexibility and that freedom is what I like the most about being an owner.
And how many hours do you typically work a week?
Oh, man. I don't know. I get asked that every now and then. And I wouldn't say, I don't put in an 80-hour work week. I'd be reluctant to say I even put in a 50-hour work week. I'd probably say it's anywhere from 30 to 40 hours during the week. Some weeks obviously would be more and some are less. Just works out that way. But my goal is to kind of start getting things in the business to be more automated and get, pass off more tasks that I don't need to be doing. Mm-hmm. And then really get it streamlined to where I can actually focus on a couple of days a week of just not doing, day-to-day operations, and focus on big picture things and be more of a visionary.
Excellent. And who has had the biggest impact in your life?
Probably a couple people definitely have an impact on my life. My mentor, my heaviest hitter mentor is Eddie Speed of Note School, and there's a couple of guys in that organization that definitely have steered me in the right direction. Here locally, I'd say my friend Brett Snodgrass really helped me define like what it is I need to be doing. My friend locally that you know as well, Mark Delfini, he's helped a lot with getting kind of your vision down and understanding the direction you want to go. There's been quite a few people that I have really inspired me to understand like what is staying in your lane. How do you just stay down your path? Like stick with your goal, go reach your goal, and don't let anything, ambient noise, kind of impede your path from where you got to go.
And, it's kind of fun because now it's the year 2020, right? So everybody's on the focus, so staying in your lane. So it kind of makes it a little bit easier just since since we're hearing that more right now. Yeah,
the 2020. I see on the memes on Facebook and stuff, yeah. I really wasn't going to go there, but that's really, staying in my lane or everyone staying in the lane is really what I want to happen. Mm-hmm. It feels like if people are crossing over too much in your business, it really affects productivity, affects efficiency, so...
And even in your personal lives as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
When people
get... Yeah, Vicki and I have to have, team meetings, so to speak, to be like, all right, what it is that she's going to do, what it is that I'm going to do, so we can stay down that path. And, she's going to take care of whatever it is, I'm going to take care of this thing. And, it's definitely a team effort.
With 4 kids.
We got 4 employees.
Well, and 5 with the dog, so.
The dog is very smart, but man, she requires some attention sometimes.
And what kind of dog?
She is how would you describe her? Oh, she's a lab and a pit mix, but she looks more lab than anything. But she's got that big old butt hip thing going where she kind of waddles like this.
But you can always only say when you're talking about a dog, right. By the way, if you're talking about a female.
Just a dog, yeah. That's right. I can get away with it today.
That's right. Well, like I said, we wanted to give you a glimpse of Justin, what he is professionally and personally, so that you can see exactly who Justin Bogard is of Bright Path Notes. So it's been a pleasure to get to know even a lot of things that I didn't know about you as well. So thank you for being open for me asking all kinds of right off the cuff questions.
Great interview, my friend. Great interview. Yeah.
So awesome. Well, and we have a lot more coming up for you this year. We're really excited about this new format that we're doing, and we're going to have some fun curveballs here and there. So stay tuned.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone, for joining us today. You can also catch this episode on our Bright Path Notes YouTube channel and Elizabeth Mayora's YouTube channel as well. So thanks, and until next time, see you later.
Thank you.
The Two Wealth Show is produced by Justin Bogard and Super E, sponsored by Bright Path Notes and Elizabeth Mayora. Thanks for listening and watching for our show.